I spent $11 on GLM, where Opus would have cost $55 for the exact same 6 builds. 12 agents running head-to-head, scored on cost, speed, and quality. So by the end, you'll know if the 5 times cheaper model is worth it. The reason this is important is because we're getting Opus 4.8 level right here and GLM performance right here. The same goes right here as well on agentic coding, which is essentially Claude Code. And the reason other people are going crazy about it is because you can run it 100% locally on a Mac Studio. For example, fellow YouTuber Alex Finn spent an abnormal amount of money on 512 gigabyte memory so he can get, Opus 4.8 level intelligence, local, private, secure, personal, super intelligence, which is just incredible. So this is one of the coolest things that ever happened in history. But before you go out buying a local machine, I always would rather not spend 10K on a machine. And I would rather spend, $100 to $200 per month because you can get a lot of months for local hardware that is going to not be as good as the Frontier models, if you want to know my take on it. So I'm never buying hardware. I'm just buying expensive subscriptions. But maybe they don't have to be that expensive anymore. I've laid out 6 of the coolest experiments, getting crazier and crazier. So let's start with prompt number 1. Is a playable top-down football game in HTML. 2 teams, keyboard control, passing, shooting, a goalkeeper, and score. Opus 4.8 on the left, GLM 5.2 on the right. The big difference was in speed here, where I had to prompt GLM twice, and it ended up using a lot more tokens. So let's start with Opus 4.8. All right, let's kick off. Here we go. I'm trying to move, but oh yeah, the arrow keys. There we go. I'm this 5. Oh, I got the ball. Let's space. Okay. Oh, 5 got it right in the goal. Okay. Oh, and it's just grabbing it from the keeper. That's crazy. Here we go. Power shoot. Oh, power shoot. Yeah, let's go. Actually, it works too. That's sick. There we go. Pass. Quick pass. Oof, almost. Goalie. Taking it in. Shoot. Let's go. 2-2. Okay. Pass down. Pass up. And in. Oh, blue wins. That's crazy. Straight out of the box. There is not much to complain about here at all. I guess the only thing being that the keeper can take the ball, or that they can take it from. Other than that, just fantastic. But let's check out GLM 5.2. Once again, the cost was a little bit lower, but we almost used double the context. So you'll see the price difference a lot more as we go through this video. Let's take a look at the HTML, open, boom. Let's take a look. Here we go. Okay. You can see the sign and we got sound effects actually. Ooh, it feels very different. It feels a little bit more like ice hockey type arcade game. Let's do it off the... Oh, it's actually fun though. Okay, we got it. Down. Nope. Let's go. We are still going. Oof. Really great here. Oh, straight at the goal. We are going in for it. And, oh, yep. Let's bounce up to that guy. And, oof. Not good. Up. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We can take the ball. Oh, no, that's an 0-3. Come on. CPU wins. CPU wins. As far as judging these two versus each other on quality and gameplay, I would have to say that they're very similar. So I think that's a tie. I had the experience of it being really long in my terminal. That's obviously a massive downside. And I had to prompt it twice because the first result was actually broken. So in this one, I'm just going to give it to Opus. Over to the next prompt, which is a X Video Factory. Essentially, we take inspiration from X, we make a script, and it turns into a short form video. And here is the result. As you can see, there's a huge difference in cost. This ended up being the biggest build of this video with almost 200,000 tokens. And this is what we built. Let's start with Opus. Here we go. We got the Tinder style selection. I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to say yes to Claude artifacts and this one as well. So this is tweets that are from creators that I like. Now we go to the next step of opening in the studio and we should be able to watch the video here. We aren't able to do that, but we do get the text, the views and everything like that. Generate script with O3. So we're actually using ChatGPT in the background here because this is built upon a system I created before called Content Mate. And as you can see, we're back and we're now able to produce with 11 Labs lip sync captions. So I'll click on that. And by the way, this was not one prompt. I prompted them both probably 2 or 3 times with equal information because both of them ended up a little bit weird. And as we're looking, I can see that we have like the checklists of, hey, we actually got the API keys that we need to run this as well. And we're able to get a video out. Let's go. So here is the video. Let's see if it actually goes all the way. Claude Artifacts just turns your random chat ideas into live clickable mini apps that bloom on your screen in seconds. Type, make me a trip planner. Watch a board spring up next to your chat. Yep. It actually cut off 2 seconds too early, and that is an issue sometimes. But yeah, it actually managed to make that. We can download to MP4 or of course connect our publishing skill. So it did exactly what it should. Just maybe a couple more prompts to get to where we really want. But if we actually look at the cost here without the subscription, that is just nuts to actually realize. Now, what about the GLM 5.2? Once again, just a cost of $4. So here's GLM 5.2, and you can see that they have some similarities, as you can see in the top here as well, and the Tinder on the left. So let's check it out. In this one, we can also drag and drop. So I'm gonna keep this one. We're gonna skip this one and we're going to keep this one. It has created a board down below here. We're gonna click on this one. And as you can see, we should be able to view the video. So both of them have failed at being able to view the source video, which is kind of weird because I know that we're getting it somehow, at least in the produce section. So let's click on generate AI script. As you can see, it's saying generating. We can click our own target here, which is not ideal. We don't want that to happen. So there is some issue there, but it's estimating that it should be 28 seconds. So if we click on produce, downloading source video is very similar to the other one. I haven't tested this part. Hopefully it goes all the way to the end, but it seems very capable, just like Opus 4.8. But how is the ending? And there we have it. It's actually showing up huge under here, and let's check it out. Llama 70B on a MacBook just turned an 11. As you can see, the lip sync is perfect. Llama 70B on a MacBook just turned an 11-hour flight into a mission control lab. Aman opened his laptop, tapped run in llama.cpp, and 70 billion parameters. So here, we're again having an issue with the length, but I think that was on both, and that should have been fixed in the prompting. But yeah, it's kind of running a 30-second voiceover over a 12-second clip. Is actually fixed in the original version, but still, this is really sick. Besides the video showing up huge under here, it actually did under the hood and through UI the exact same thing. Even has a download MP4 here. So again, these were long prompts, took a long time, but if I would pay this much, I would for sure want to do it with GLM 5.2. I do think that the result of 4.8 was better, but in this test, the speed was actually the exact same. If we take price into account, like I would just prompt this a little bit more and we'd probably get it to be exactly what we want. So GLM wins on this one. My next prompt is a 3D interactive human anatomy explorer. You should have rotatable with a rotatable body, clickable organ systems, label, smooth camera, and this is the result. As you can see on this one, we ended up only spending 62 cents, 57,000 tokens with Opus $4. And it actually spent quite a bit longer. So I guess that's why we have a big difference, even though context was pretty similar. And the lines of code as well. Let's take a look at Opus 4.8. So first of all, we're in. I'm going to scroll my mouse and I'm going to click around. As you can see, I'm now hovering around here. Let's check right click is able to drag. That's awesome. And I can zoom in. So let's check out the muscles here. We got the deltoid. Here we got the neck muscles. All right. Let's just check out the titties real quick. All right. And then we got the obliques. We got the abs. We got the glutes. Yeah, it's actually acting really, really well. And I would have to say that the model is pretty accurate as well. And if you would give this to somebody that doesn't know anything about muscles or anatomy, they would probably be able to learn some stuff. Excellent job. I guess the feet is a little bit weird, and that's literally the only negative thing I can do. This is awesome. So let's check out GLM 5.2. And here we go. So first impressions, I do have to say that the human body is a little bit jank, but let's take a look. Let's scroll over. Here we go. Deltoid, shoulder muscle. All right. Here we got the pecs as well. And we got the abs, the six pack. Here we have the oblique. And it seems like this model is actually just trying to cover the whole body in skin or muscles, essentially. So here you can see that triceps on the back, biceps on the front, forearms, extensors, and here we even have the back. Yo, this is Ronnie Coleman right here. The lats, okay, so that's what my muscle looks like as well. And yeah, this is my trapezius as well. I got big shoulders. And let's not forget the glutes. I guess that's fine. The hamstrings, everything works how it should, but it was a little bit jank. The top muscles here definitely is very weird, not how I wanted it. So, and then on top of that, the six pack is literally a block. It's just the abs, they are square, I'm telling you. So if we would take the results here and say, which one do I want to hand to somebody that doesn't know anatomy at all? I would definitely say Opus 4.8. But that's the really weird comparison here with the cost. Like my brain is telling me, yeah, this is better. But then when I look at the price, I'm like, damn, you can get that at pretty insane. And then on top of that, you can run this free and open weights if you have the hardware. Of course, it's very hard. Not many people can afford that. So I have to decide if I'm going to base it on price or the actual output. And I'm just going to do it on output. So let's take just the final output as the winner. So I think Opus was the best result, but let's take a look at the next prompt, which is AI Minecraft. And the main things that we have to be able to do is cut down a tree and craft a sword and kill a pig. As you can see, very similar on speed here. Context, similar as well. Cost, once again, we're talking 5 times the cost here, which is the most ridiculous fact of this, right? So let's check out Opus 4.8, voxel craft, move, let's click. So here we are, and wow, it actually looks fantastic. Again, this is Opus 4.8. Now I'm just gonna get some wood and we can click here to destroy blocks. That is actually awesome. And we got some wood and we can press E to craft the sword. Here we go. We got the sword and we can jump and I'm gonna kill a pig. Pig defeated. And so, yeah, it was able to do everything that we asked for. Oh, and we clipped through the world. So yeah, definitely some clipping going on if I'm jumping into the tree. Let's check out if I can jump on top of that. Yeah, it's super jank. So if we try to break it, it definitely isn't really that great, but hey, let's try to dig down and see what happens. Yep, we can dig down and fall and we respawn. So yeah, all of it is working fantastic. Just a little bit of clipping here and there. But yeah, that should not be that hard to fix. Now on to GLM 5.2. Let's just open it. Much of the same mechanics. Let's click to play. We drop onto this world. And as you can see, first impressions, it's a little bit more flat in the colors. And just looking at the pig, you already see that it's going backwards. And it ain't that pig-like. I mean, you got the pink, reddish, that look like a wine pig. All right, anyways, let's do the test. Can we grab some wood? Yes, we can grab the wood. And it's actually nice with the blocks here. Really like how it looks like. Now, to render this is pretty nice. So let's try to break it a little bit by just jumping into the trees and on top of, under the trees. Wow, it runs so smoothly as well. So that is really awesome. I can sprint, jump, and it runs. There's no bugs at all. Let's click on the pig, punch the pig. Oh, I need to craft it, of course. Now we got the jank going on. Get some wood and I'll press C to craft a sword. Here we go. We got the sword. Let's kill the pig. Boom. And yeah, it seems like there is just one pig on this island. So that was the test. Looking at them head to head, it was just so close in quality, especially at the price. I would just keep going on voxel here to just keep going. I like that this one had more pigs and the design again was a little bit better, the rendering as well. But you know what, this one definitely I'm giving to GLM. The next prompt is a re-motion write on text animation. So you've seen like an animation that writes some text on the screen. Well, that is what this does. So all we got to do is put an MP3 file in with our voiceover and we essentially get a text write on. But what surprised me with this was that we ended up spending about $10 in Opus 4.8 and I was like, damn, there's no way we did that. But yeah, the real cost, if we didn't have a subscription, would be $9.59, which is absolutely ridiculous when we're going to take a look at the result. So let's just skip to the result here. Opus 4.8, take a look. GLM now has made it into the top 4. And so it was actually able to do everything that we wanted. So I'm going to play it without the sound right now. And it's able to write on the text exactly when we're saying the word. So we're taking the transcript. It's reading exactly when it should be on the screen and doing it actually perfect. But the crazy reality of spending $10 on this, damn. Anyways, let me not get too crazy. Let's check out GLM 5.2 as well. So GLM now has made it into the top 4. So what you can see here as well is that it actually goes faster when we actually go faster with the text. So it seems like it is using remotion. It's just using a different template. So if you're familiar with it, you could change that if you wanted. And it decided that this was the better way to go about it instead of like character to character animation. So pretty much the same exact result, except I mean, it is a little bit nicer with this little type on effect, but it's literally like a template. So just switch that on. The main thing is that it can actually write the text on with the audio. And if I just said one prompt here to actually say, make it character to character, I could literally turn it into this in one heartbeat. So, hey, if I saw anybody use 10 of my dollars to make some of that shit like this, I'd be furious. But luckily, you don't have to pay. I'll pay for you, and hopefully we can get some cheaper models like GLM. But let's check out the next prompt. The next prompt is an accurate animated cross-section of the Seiko 7X26 that has a mainspring and is actually able to explode, not in the way that you think. Check out the cost and the speed here. I'm actually seeing that there is something wrong with this test. I know that they ran exactly the same time, and here is actually the output that I got myself, and it seems that it wasn't exactly correct, where GLM actually just ran a tiny bit longer. Please excuse these numbers, but we still got each result. Let's check out Opus 4.8. Wow, it is just absolutely gorgeous. And specifically, as you can see, we have the spring oscillating back and forth. Now, Of course, it's not exactly how it looks like in real life, but still a beautiful movement nonetheless. Now, one thing that I'm kind of iffy about is I don't think that it's going up in this shape right here and then the movement kind of ending up here over the top edge, kind of like this. This is the type of movement that you would get in this watch right here. A piece that I just got and I'm so in love. And I was trying to learn more about the movement, and I was thinking a little bit more kind of like this or like this to learn a little bit more about the movement. So just by gut feel, I would say that the gears are not like this. I would think that they are more stacked on top of each other. Let's check out the exploded. So this is one of the features that I was asking for, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, it's taken off the base plate and it goes back and forth, being able to check out the different pieces that the watch is made from. Now, obviously, I feel like we're missing a couple of pieces, but beautiful nonetheless. We have some pause, which is kind of cool. A view, which I'm not sure exactly what it does, and auto explode as well. So we're able to auto go back and forth. Wow, look at that. So we can actually auto go in and out like that. So that is super cool. Wow, just look at that. That is gorgeous. But let's take a look at how GLM 5.2 did. As you can see here, we do have, I think, a little bit more of an accurate movement in the terms of how the gears actually move. So obviously this one is going a little bit faster, this one slower, and this one slower, and this one a lot slower. And as you can see, there is no spring that is kind of going in and out. It's just a round blue spring that is kind of stuck in place. Now, I don't mind that since the rest of the movement actually moves, and dare I say, this is so beautiful. Let's check out how it does if we start exploding. So here, let's check it out. Wow, here we go. You can actually see the small pieces in the top here as well get exploded. Boom. Let's check it out from a different angle. Let's try this. And yeah. Once again, you can see the arm there as well, actually slotting out under the wheel. Look at this. Boom, boom. Yeah, you can see it slotting out under the wheel. Now, if it actually works mathematically and physically correct, I'm not 100% sure, but it does seem like it's ticking at a slower rate each time. So yeah, this is a really awesome test. Super glad. So in this test here, with all things concerned, I would definitely give GLM a win, but they were very similar on the speed, so please take that with a grain of salt. But there we have it. We just did 6 GLM versus Opus 4.8 tests. Tell me which ones you liked in the comments. And I wanted to invite you to a 7-day build challenge that we just started inside of our AI Mate school community. There's a 7-day free trial to join. After this, you'll be a master using Claude Code. So click the link in the description. Also, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow at lunch.